China's secret reusable spaceplane deployed 6 unknown objects in orbit, and some are already emitting signals, according to Brett Tingley on space.com. 4 days after launching on its third ever mission, China's mysterious Shenglong robotic spaceplane has apparently deployed 6 unknown objects in orbit. Some of them are appearing to emit signals. China's reusable spaceplane just got a little more mysterious. Just 4 days after being launched on its third mission, China's Shenlong, which means Divine Dragon, robotic spaceplane seems to have placed 6 objects into orbit, Earth orbit. Of course, there's no astronauts on it, it's robotic. Amateur spacecraft trackers around the world have been following the objects closely for days and have recorded emissions coming from some of them. The 6 mystery objects have been designated object A, B, C, D, E, and F, and according to satellite tracker and amateur astronomer Scott Tilley, object A appears to be emitting signals reminiscent of those emitted by objects that China's spaceplane has released on previous missions. He said on X, formerly Twitter, Object A's or nearby emission is reminiscent of earlier Chinese spaceplane wingman emissions in the sense the signal is modulated with a limited amount of data, Tilly told space.com via email. There is speculation that the emission from Object A may be from an object close to it, but this is speculation not based on any evidence I'm aware of, he says. Tilly has referred to the objects as mysterious wingmen. Object D and E, meanwhile, appear to be emitting idle placeholder signals with no data accompanying them. It should be noted, he says, that unlike emissions early in the Chinese spaceplane missions 1 and 2, these emissions are very intermittent and do not stay on long, Tilly says. It's taken days of observations tracking pass after pass with dish antennas to come up with this data, he said. Tilly and other satellite trackers have analyzed the signals and are confident that the emissions are coming either from the objects or from close proximity to them, and this conclusion is based on observing them along their expected paths in the sky, the fact that no other known objects were in the beam of the tracker's antennas when the data was collected, and the fact that the particular modulation of these signals is unique and has only been seen from previous Chinese spaceplane missions using a frequency of 2,280 megahertz, Tilly says. So in summary, this iteration of the Chinese spaceplane mission launched into a similar orbit as the last 2, but operationally it is exhibiting different radio behavior than before. The additional observations of the emissions from object D and E is new, but could also have been missed on earlier missions if they too were intermittent, Tilly said. Something we should watch for is close encounters between object A and object D and E. D and E are in fairly elliptical orbits around A, while A is in a near circular orbit. In the next couple of days, there will be close approaches between these objects at perigee, that is, near the Earth. Perigee is the point in the satellite's elliptical orbit when it's closest to the Earth. China's spaceplane has exhibited similar behaviors in the past. On its 2 previous missions, which launched September 2020 and August 2022, respectively, the spacecraft was seen releasing a small unknown object into orbit. It was speculated that the objects could be service modules, test articles for practicing placing payloads into orbit, or perhaps even small satellites used to monitor the spaceplane, according to Space News. The United States also operates a reusable robotic spaceplane, the Boeing-built X-37B, similar to China's Shenlong spaceplane. Little is known about the exact operations or capabilities of the X-37B. The U.S. Space Force is currently set to launch the spacecraft atop a SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket December 28 after several delays, and the timing of the 2 reusable spaceplane launches is not a coincidence. These are 2 of the most watched objects in orbit while they are on orbit, and it's probably no coincidence that they're trying to match us in timing and sequence of this. General Chance Saltzman, U.S. Space Force Chief of Space Operations, said at a conference earlier this month. This was originally posted on space.com and it's on Live Science by Brett Tingley. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.